This screencast is for SCI students to learn how to use the Destiny catalog. Now the first thing you'll notice when you get into the catalog is either you'll be on the Home tab, which has a number of resources that we have provided links for, or the Catalog tab, which is where you want to use to search the books. You will have the ability to log in, and you'll want to do that. And that is just your lunch number is your username and your birth date is your password. So I'm going to go ahead and log in to one I created as a demonstration. Once you log in, you'll notice a couple things. One, there's an additional tab that says My Information, and two, your name will be up in the upper right hand corner where you log in. So let's take a look at that additional tab. My Information that will include anything that you have checked out, any fines that you may have incurred if you have lost materials. We do not charge for overdue books. Any holds that you have placed on a book, and you can see I have one for Candy Makers, and any recommended titles, and those are titles that other people recommend to you that they think you might enjoy. So let's go ahead and jump right into the catalog and take a quick overview. We're in the basic search. If we switch to the power search, we have the ability to use Boolean searching by including more than one term. So we can use and, or not. So if we wanted to search for something like Jaguars, but we did not want cars, we only wanted books about animals, we would put Jaguars, not cars, and then we would do our search. We also have a visual search. These are some generic ones that Destiny has offered, but we have added some here. There's a lot of students that want realistic fiction books, and it's not a subject heading, so you can click here for that. We have Young Hoosier books that we use for the Battle of the Books, so those have been updated as well. Actually, we need to add one for the 2013-2014 year. And the last one is copy categories. These are just lists that we have added for either teachers or students to help them to find materials. All right, let's go back to the basic search and go ahead and get started searching for things. So we have 5 different choices. We can do a keyword search, a title search, author, subject, or series. So let's go ahead and find out what the difference is. So I'm going to type in candy, and if I just hit enter, it will do a keyword. It'll perform a keyword search. So I'm going to go ahead and just do keyword and show you the difference between keyword and title. So I have 13 different titles that have popped up here. And not all of them, notice, have the word candy in it. So there's candy in the title. Giraffe Pelly and Me doesn't have that, nor does Roald Dahl's Revolting Recipes. But a number of them do. So let's open up the Giraffe, the Pelly and Me and find out what did it find that returned this as a result. So when you do a keyword search, it looks everywhere in the record of the book, and it found the word candy in the summary as well as a subject heading. So that's why this book was returned. I'm going to use instead of using the back button and losing everything, I'm going to use my cookie crumbs here and just back up. So I'm going to refine my search so that I don't lose what I had typed, and now instead I'm going to do a title search and see what I get. Now I only get 4 titles. That's because candy is in the title of every single one of these books. So if you know a word is in the title of a book, go ahead and do a title search. That way you won't have to be searching through pages and pages of books, of results pages, just to find the book that you want. Okay. Now I'm going to look at Candy Smash here, and I want to know if it's in. It is in. If I look over here in the availability, it says there are 3 of 3 copies available. So if I tap on that link, it tells me that there are 3 books here. They're available. They should be on the shelf. If they're not, check with Mr. Hostetler, Mrs. Speckman. They might be in the back for repairs, or they might be on display somewhere, or on the cart being ready to be shelved. So we can help you with that. If I go back and I do a keyword search and I look for the book, The Candy Makers, I notice that there's only 1 of 2 available. So there's only 1 ready for checkout. If I tap on that, I see that one of them is on hold. So once you place a book on hold, it goes ahead and takes it out of circulation and lets you know that you can't check it out because somebody else has already put a hold on it and they're waiting for it. And there might be a wait list here. We do a lot of holds, so when you log in, you'll be able to see if you have any holds, and you can see if they're pending. That way, if your book is ready, we email your teacher. Then they will let you know to come on down. That way you don't have to keep coming down here day after day asking if your book is ready. We'll do it through email. Okay, so now if I want to place a book on hold, as I've already done the Candy Makers, but I see down here that the Candy Shop War looks interesting, I can do that. Since I'm logged in, I've got three options here. I have a wish list, I can recommend the book, or I can place a hold on it. So if I want to place a hold on it, all I have to do is tap that. The book is now placed on hold. And it puts it in a queue. And it's kind of first come, first serve. So if somebody comes in after you and puts a book on hold, your name will be first. And as soon as that book comes in and it's ready for you, a little message will pop up for Mrs. Speckman or Mr. Hostetler, and then they will send that email out to your teacher. So what's a wish list? Well, a wish list is if there's a book that you want Mr. Hostetler to order for a library and we don't have it, you can just tap on wish list. It doesn't matter what book you're in. So we own the Candy Shop War, but I still want to recommend a different book. So I'm going to tap on wish list, and you notice that I can either say, hey, we need more Candy Shop War by using the current title, or there's a brand new book. So it says new title. All I have to do, it says it's required, is the title. So give me the title as best you can you know. I don't need the author. You probably don't know the ISBN number. You don't even have to tell me why. You can if you want to. It sends me a message, and then I will add that to the next order as long as it's appropriate for our school and as long as I have money for it. So the recommend, what's the recommend button? Well, let's say there's a friend that you have that might not be in the same grade level as you, or it's somebody that you just don't see that often, and you may forget later on in the day that you want to recommend this book to them. So just tap on recommend and find that person's name. So let's see if I can find Mrs. Rabati, now Mrs. Allen, and there she is. So I would click on her name, send her a message, and click save. It automatically sends her a message within Destiny and tells her that there's a book that's being recommended from me. Please don't use this as a messaging system other than recommending books. These messages go to Mr. Hostetler or me first, and I will read them. And if it's something that says, hey, there's a book that you should read, I really enjoyed it, try it, great, I'll go ahead and approve that. But if it's something that says the effect of, hey, give me a call when you get home tonight after school, then I'll delete that and they will never get that message. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And those are some of your options. Now, if you want to place a review on this book, which it doesn't look like there are any, we can do that too. So over here on this tab it says reviews. There are no reviews for this book. So we can add a review, and we can give it as many stars as we'd like. So let's say it's an okay book, and I could type in a message, and you're limited to a number of characters, so you can't type a large novel here. It will not allow you to do that. But type in something that's appropriate, type in something that is grammatically correct, make sure you have capital letters where they need to be, and where it says, do you want to display your name, you can put your first name, last initial if you'd like, and then go ahead and save that. Again, it goes to me, Mr. Hostetler, first, and I read them, and if it's appropriate, I'll save it. It'll go ahead and be aired and viewed by anybody who looks at our catalog. That doesn't just mean Sand Creek students, it means all students in our district or anybody else that happens to come across our catalog. But if it's not, I do have the ability to edit your entry, but then it replaces your name with my name, and I don't want my name up there saying that I'm the one who's putting all these reviews on there. So typically I either approve them or delete them. So if you don't ever see yours up here, then it's probably because you had a lot of mistakes in there. So I'll go ahead and cancel that. Okay, let's go back to our library search and just click on catalog. So we've already know the difference between keyword and title. What if we want to do an author search? Type in the author's last name. They're more unique than their first names. And it says here that I've got Betty Wren Wright books. I'm getting a lot of things here. I see Michelle Cook. I see Anita Ganeri, Ting Morris, Gary Paulson. They're in alphabetical order, I see, and Betty Wren Wright will be down at the bottom. The reason they're in alphabetical order is because they've been sorted by author. You do have the ability to sort your results based on call number, title, author, and that's probably the ones you'll want to use mainly. So why are all these other names coming in? So if we look at Lisa Trumbauer, we notice that down here in the Explore section it says that there was an illustrator with the last name of Wright. So it doesn't just look for author, but it also looks for illustrator. Okay, and the next one is a subject search. So subjects could be genres, they could be topics like basketball, art, music, whatever. So if I want to do a mystery search, because I'm required to read a mystery book, first thing I notice is that there are 453 books, 19 pages. I honestly don't have the time to search through all of these, so I'm going to need to limit this in some way, shape, or form. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this book called Down the Rabbit Hole, and it's an Echo Falls mystery series. And I notice in the Explore section, this is where all my subject headings are. This book is about murder. It's a murder mystery, it's a mystery and detective story, and it's mystery fiction. And here I can click on all the titles by this author and or check and look at all the books in that series. So what if I want to read murder fiction? If I tap on that, I see there's only 11 books, so I've narrowed it down quite a bit. So maybe that's what I'm interested in. So I would then see if these books are available, and notice that the only one that isn't is this one here, The Eye of the Crow. And then I can go ahead and look for that book. The call numbers are right here under the title, Fiction ABR. Let's see if there's any other things here besides fiction, and there's not. So all these will be located in the fiction section. All right, and the last one is a series. So in a series search, you need to know the name of the series, such as Diary of a Wimpy Kid. One thing I will mention is when you're typing in your searches, don't worry about capital letters. The catalog doesn't care if they're capitalized or not. So even though it's a title and it needs to be capitalized, I don't bother. It takes a little bit more time to do that. The other thing is if the title of the book starts with the common words of the, a, or an, I don't include them in the title because it doesn't bother searching for them. But if they're in the middle, I do include them. So I'm going to go ahead and do a series search, and they should all pop up. Excuse me. And what we have done, even though the title of the book is not Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but it's The Last Straw, The Ugly Truth, The Third Wheel, we have added the number here so that you know what order you're supposed to read the books in. If a popular series does not have that, let us know. We'll look it up and we'll add that feature for you so that you can, you'll know exactly what order to read them in. So that's how you would do a series search. We do have a couple limiters here that you might want to be aware of. One is the location. So the books you're going to be looking for should be at Sand Creek Intermediate. If you see that you're getting a ton of results and you can't find a book, double check this and make sure that you haven't changed it or somebody before you hasn't changed it to Hamilton Southeastern, because then you'll be seeing books from elementary schools as well as high schools. Material types, we do have some other things besides books, videotapes, DVDs, audio books, some professional materials, some reference books as well. So we just keep it at material type as any, and when you're looking for books such as, let's see if Hatchet comes up like this. Yeah, when we do a search for Hatchet, it has a little book here, so you know that these are all books, but over here we have one that's a VT for videotape, and it looks like a film, so obviously that's not what you're looking for. And we also have it in audio, so you can listen to the story. But make sure that the one you're looking for actually has a book there. A couple things. The last thing you're going to want to do is log out before you leave, so that the next person coming in does not see all of your information, because anything that's you're logged into, you want to keep that information private. So tap on log out. Leave the catalog up. The next person behind you most likely is going to use the catalog, so please don't close out of the catalog. Just leave it looking like this or on the catalog page so that the person behind you can go ahead and get started and log in. But that's it, and if you ever need any help, please see Mr. Hosteller or Mrs. Speckman.